My mother has never really been the loving kind. She's always been strict. At least the one I know. When I was growing up, I wasn't really around her much. She had a twin, so every time she came over, I didn't really know if it was her or her sister. When I moved into her, she was strict. Always forced me to study. I suppose that could be mistaken for caring. She yelled a lot. I was never really happy with myself. When I spoke to a counselor once, when she caught me crying, the counselor asked me what was wrong. School counselor was a lovely lady, made me feel comfortable, told me that my mother was there to protect me. When the counselor called my mother and spoke to her, I consented to this, of course. My mother seemed understanding. The counselor reassured me that it's okay. You'll get home, you'll talk to her, you'll sort things out. But when I got home, I was beaten. I was told that I shouldn't do that again. How dare you talk to somebody about me? How dare you make someone question how I mother? I learned from then on that I cannot talk to anyone about what I go through. I seemed to forget this in high school. In year 11, I think, I spoke to a counselor again because I was upset and I was crying. I got home and my aunt looked at me and she said, "Are you depressed?" I said, "No." "Do you feel depressed?" I said, "No." And then she said, "Well, if you're not, then don't speak to a counselor again." Because she's a psychiatrist and she does not want me to end up in a ward. I've never really felt safe enough to tell them much. I've always felt as though I would be judged. I wouldn't be accepted. Tonight, my mother made me, like every night, prepare all of her things for her before she goes to work. She always makes me do something for her. And I suppose in the beginning, I didn't really mind. It was a way to get her out of the door so she could leave for her night shift. But tonight, I did everything. Packed her bag. I went through a bunch of shoes until she found the pair that she liked. I got a bunch of things. I packed all the bottles that she brings to her friend. I gather them all every single weekend. While she laid in her bed, taking her time to get dressed, I got upset. Because recently it's starting to feel as though my time isn't really mine. Like, my body is here specifically to do things for people. I don't feel like my own person. I feel used. One could argue that my parents raised me and I need to repay them because it takes a lot of money to raise someone. But it always feels as though their love and concern will always hover over my head. A debt I can never repay. Something that will never go away. I feel sad. I feel angry that I am being used, that my mother yells at me for asking questions, that every breath can be mistaken as backtalk, that I don't feel safe in this house. I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. I understand that I am privileged. I have a roof over my head. My aunt is cool. My aunt is nice. She moved in with us. She helps me the most, keeps me sane. But my mother is difficult. Recently, she has turned cold and angry and bitter. A year or two ago, she got drunk and threw up all over herself and the bedsheets. She tells me that I am taking a back seat and it is time for her to focus on herself. She compares me to other children. She tells me she loves me more. No, she doesn't. She tells me she loves my brother more, and she loves me. Asks me why I hate my brother when I don't. When he used to live here, I did all of everything. I did everything. I washed his clothes. I kept him entertained. I cooked for him, cleaned after him. I did everything while she was sitting in her room doing nothing. I love my brother. But while he was living here, my mother once looked at me and gave me the most disgusted, most why did I even give birth to you kind of look. And it wounded me. It cut me very deep. And I can never get her face out of my mind with that expression on it. I know that this doesn't make any sense. I'm just rambling. But I feel like I can't talk to anyone. Like sometimes when I do talk, no one hears me. Like people make excuses. She's a single mother, yes. But recently, all she does is spend day and night watching television. She basically sleeps in the living room. She only walks around when she has to go to the toilet. She drinks bottles upon bottles of sugary drinks that are supposed to be sugar-free. When you drink 10 bottles of sugar-free soda, it stops really being healthy. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I want to get from speaking to strangers on the internet, if anyone is even listening. I guess I don't care. I feel like speaking and uploading this will make me feel better. Make me feel like I'm talking to someone. I know the simplest answer would be to move out, but I'm trying to find a job, and while there's a coronavirus going around, it's very difficult for me to find one. I guess that's it. I hope everyone is having a good day. Good night.